Hey everybody, how are we? I'm back for another installment of the live sessions with the Q&A. And tonight we're going to talk shit. Literally, we are going to talk about poo. We're going to crack deep into it, so to speak, and we're going to cover all the messy bits, all the fantastic bits, everything that you need to know about poo, because poo is actually really essential. And I'll sound a bit crass when I say this. I really do. But that's because there's no other way to approach a topic. Poo has been said to be, almost like an evil thing, a gross thing, something we should be ashamed of for years and years and years. I mean, for forever. It's always been, pushed to the side as discarded, and people don't want to take notice of it. And really it's unfortunate because poo can give you a whole heap of information about how your body's actually going. So guys, we're going to go right on deep into this, and then after that, as always, we're going to cover all the questions. We've been getting heaps of epic questions, from you guys via my inbox and via Instagram, via the Facebook community, everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share it across into the street community. If you're not in there, I'm going to post up the link for you below if you want to get into it. It's just a tight-knit community where we cover absolutely everything. We'll get straight on into it. So, first things first, I'm going to comment this link. G'day, Chance. How are you, brother? Chance. Sorry, mate. I always call you Chance. Terrible bloke. Terrible coach. There we go. The link's going up right now. That's groups/JCF Shred Community. Yeah, so guys, as always, if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about shit or poo, whatever you want to call it, feces. Literally, just comment below. Anything that you want me to go over, anything you want us to cover, and go into, put it down there, and then we'll get straight on into it. Also, I'm particularly nasally as well today. I do apologise for that. I'm down south in Melbourne. I got on the plane. When I got on the plane, I got crook as a dog. I couldn't tell you the last time that I've been crook. Absolutely sucks. So I've been sick for the last 3-4 days, but I'm on the mend now. So that's why I'm back into doing the Q&As. But yeah, so please do forgive me for my particularly nasally accent. I'm a bit of a bogan already, normally anyway, and this certainly doesn't help at all. All right, sweet. Well, look, let's crack on into it then, guys, and go straight away. So pretty much what we're going to discuss tonight, we're going to discuss good poo and bad poo. We're going to say what is the optimal poo. If you're going to lay a surd, what is it optimally going to look like? We're going to go over, what poo can tell us, all the warning signs which it gives us, how to look after it, how to look after your poo and your gut, and then what to do if it isn't good. Okay, there's a lot of people who don't value their poo, as I said right at the start. A lot of people don't value their poo. They don't look at it, which you actually should do. It sounds a little bit gross, but you should look at it. Obviously, poo is the number one warning sign of your gut. Most people aren't actually in touch with how their digestive system is. So most people can't tell if they're getting bloated or if they've eaten a food which doesn't react well with them or anything like that. A lot of people really just cannot tell, and are so out of touch with the gut that it's just not working for them. And so poo is going to be the easiest way for these people to learn what's working and what's not working for them. So pretty much, what is the optimal poo, all right? So when you lay a mud dragon, what it should be is it should be like a regular consistency. It shouldn't be sloppy, it shouldn't be hard, you shouldn't strain, it should just come out easy, straight as that. I'm not going to go any more gross than that. That's as gross as we're going to get, all right? So it should just be a regular poo, and it should actually come out all in one lump. Well, one or several lumps, all right, but not heaps. If you're splattering the toilet and it's going everywhere, you're doing it wrong. You're not in a good way. If your poo's running, it's a sign of bowel inflammation, and it's showing that you're not digesting food well. When you've got bowel inflammation, you've got low stomach hydrochloric acid, which in turn leads to a whole heap of bad, terrible issues such as small intestine, bacterial overgrowth, leaky gut, stuff like that, and it absolutely screws you up, all right? You should also be looking to make sure that it's not super, super hard. So if you're straining to get out, go to the toilet and get it out, and you poo once a week and you sit on there for an hour and you have a good sweat, more than what you would in any of your workouts, you're also doing it wrong and it's not good. You should be in and out relatively quickly, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Enjoy your time there, savor it. But yeah, you don't want to be either having it run out of you, like literally, and you have to go shit like 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day, that's bad. Or if you're just shitting once a week, that's also not good either. The optimal amount would be to go to the toilet 2 to 3 times per day with a decent consistency. If you're not doing that, you're suboptimal. All right, you're not going to have fun. A lot of doctors define constipation as going to the toilet once a week or once a fortnight. How stupid does that sound to you? All right, so if your doctor's telling you that, disregard it. Completely disregard it, period. Right? You need to be going to the toilet every day. Ideally, I like, all my clients to be going, 2 to 3 times per day. Right? So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It is not normal to pass bowel movements infrequently. And if you look at the reasoning for this, you think, all right, so how many times a day do I eat? So if you're eating 2, 3, 4 times a day, do you think it's really, normal for you to not pass that within 24 hours? I mean, have a think about it. Be logical. If you don't pass it within 24 hours, that's, not good. Now, Cuzzy just come in and said, damn, I go 4 to 5 times a day. Dude, if it's a good, texture, as gross as it is to say that, if it's a good texture, then yeah, it's going to be okay. But it's when it's, one of those ends, either super, super sloppy or super hard, that's when you're not going to be fun. And if you guys are watching this on Facebook, I'm actually going to add in this thing called the Bristol Stool Chart, which gives you a really good idea of how it should look, right? And I'll post up the link to that below so you can actually watch it and see what they rate it as. And they've got ratings from like 1 to 6 in the types of poo and how it should actually look, okay? So what poo can actually tell us is really cool. As I said, most people aren't actually in touch with their digestive system, so they can't recognize when something's going wrong or something's not working. And so it can tell us a whole heap of things. So number one, if you're only going to the toilet like once a day, once a week, that's telling us your digestive system isn't moving and that you're probably not drinking enough water. Right? If you're going like 10 times a day, then that's showing us that your gut is massively, massively inflamed. If it goes into your stomach and then bang straight out the other end, your digestive system's hugely inflamed and it's not in a good way whatsoever. You need to fix that shit. All right? It can also tell us when food doesn't agree with you. So if you've eaten something the night before and then your bowel movements are erratic over the next couple of days, bang, you know that there's something in there which isn't working well for you. You need to eliminate that food or find out why it's not working for you, okay? It can also tell us how stressed you are. So people who are highly, highly stressed will have less frequent bowel movements or more frequent bowel movements. But either way, it's going to be one way or the other of the norm, okay? Because stress can affect people in different ways. But if you're away from that optimal 2 to 3 times a day, which are normal looking, your stress is going to be in the wrong direction, and it's not going to sort you out at all. Now, Cuzzy's just asked, does poo color matter? Yeah, look, poo color is actually an indicator of what you've eaten, but it doesn't really matter a whole heap. Okay, it doesn't really. If it's sorry to go gross, guys, but if it's brown, if it's yellow, if it's orange, it doesn't really matter too much. In that, the texture, the consistency, and the frequency, they're bigger issues than anything. Okay, so pretty much how to look after your poo is just look after your gut. Be sensible. Don't eat foods which disagree with you. Okay, if you eat a food which you know isn't working well for you, excuse me. If you eat a food which you know isn't working well for you, you're not feeling good on it, don't do it. All right, cut it out. If you're excessively stressed or you're not sleeping well, you will notice your bowel movements will change. So you need to fix those. You need to fix your stress, modulate your stress. You need to sleep better. Okay. If you're a man in particular and you're getting older and you're not managing stress, not managing your hormones, not managing your neurotransmitters, all that sort of stuff, then you're going to notice a change in the bathroom. If you're one of these guys, I have designed a course for you, which you can do, which you can hit me up. So if you want information on that, just comment below and then I'll help you out with it. But yeah, you need to make sure that your stress and your neurotransmitters are on point, okay? Because otherwise your gut isn't going to look well whatsoever. And it's not gonna work with you. So yeah, pretty much if you can do all those things, then you're gonna have a much, much better time looking after your digestive system. Poo is an indicator. It is something that we use in order to make sure that our body is optimally healthy. And remember, if your poo isn't healthy, your body's not healthy, then your gains aren't going to be healthy. You're not going to grow muscle and lose fat at the rate at which you really should be, okay? Because in the end of the day, everything comes back to gut health. Let's look at it. Your immune system is related to your gut health. Your androgens are related to your gut health. Your estrogen is detoxified predominantly through the gut. Your what else have we got in your gut health? Your neurotransmitters are looked after by your gut. All these sorts of things are all looked after by your gut. And if we don't look after our gut, we don't pay attention to the early warning signs, then we're not going to get better. All right? Okay, so let's go through a few questions. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover on Talking Poo. All right, that's it for now. Now we're going to go into the Q&As. If you've got more questions about gut health and poo and whatnot, comment them below and we'll get around to them. All right? So first question up. Now, Kazi just asked, difference between sprints and skipping, which is better? So I get a few of my clients to do things like skipping. The reason why I get them to do skipping is to actually stimulate the lymphatic movement through their body. Your lymph is like your immune fluid. It pulses around and it cleans up all the shit. People who get cancer often have issues with their lymphatic system because it just gets blocked and then it can't fix a lot of the things which it should be fixing. And so if we improve our lymphatic fluid and the way that it's moving, then we'll actually be more healthy. We'll be less likely to actually have gut issues, or so I've found anyway. You'll think better, you'll get rid of brain fog, and you'll just feel a whole heap better. You'll also lose fat faster, gain muscle faster, and your stress will be way, way lower. So that's why I recommend skipping. In the end of the day, sprinting will do the same thing, because any sort of movement which stimulates lymphatic flow, which stimulates your body to go up and down. So like your skeleton, if your skeleton raises and falls, and it causes the fluid to pump through your body, then either way they're going to be great. So the difference between sprints and skipping, look, I'd say that you're probably going to expend more energy doing sprinting because you're going to go harder. So if you're looking for direct fat loss and caloric expenditure, yes, sprints are going to be better. But skipping is also fun, it's a little bit novel, and I think it may have a slightly better effect on the lymphatic system. That's just my theory anyway. And it works. It really does work. David has just asked, is BCAA a waste of time? Can I just run with loosen powder? Nah, mate, go with EAAs. They're coming out with more and more research now suggesting that EAAs are the shit, they're the stuff that you should be doing. So go with them for sure. I've done loosen powder before, and it's filthy. Guys, if any of you have ever tried loosen powder, you will agree with me that it's absolute filth. It doesn't mix. It's insoluble. Tastes like, butthole. It's gross. Absolutely rank. It's the worst stuff ever, man. So I go 10 times out of 10 for EAA powder or EAA and BCAA powder as opposed to just loosen itself. So yeah, man, I wouldn't do that. On top of that too, there's a bit of research to suggest which loosen's the only one which really affects the activation of mTOR, which is like the muscle gaining pathway, the anabolic pathway. But mate, I think go with EAAs all the way EAAs. So that's my answer in a bit of a roundabout way. There are benefits to having loosen. If you want to spike your EAA powder or your BCAA and EAA powder with loosen, yes, go for it. But in general, I'd recommend EAAs or EAAs and BCAAs at the same time. Cobbs just asked, do I salute Vegan Gains? Guys, for any of you who have heard of Vegan Gains, I commiserate with you because he's a terrible bloke. If you haven't heard of Vegan Gains, actually, no, check out his YouTube. He's an absolute toss bag. But yeah, give it a nudge anyway. It'll be worth looking at. No, I don't salute Vegan Gains, bro. Silly question. Now, Chancey just asked, does poor gut health keep you from losing the unwanted abdominal fat? Yes, it's the single reason why people can't lose the love handle fat. Anything down that way. That's the one reason why people can't lose it. Everyone will say, oh, just eat less, just go in a caloric deficit, do more cardio, all this shit, blah, 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 blah. But you still don't lose the lower bit of fat. I can tell you right now, if you've got a bad gut, you're not going to lose that ever, period. Not going to happen whatsoever, all right? This lower bit of your belly, it always comes up and it always holds more water when your gut is bad, all right? There are reasons for this, which I'll go into. So, numero uno, when you've got a bad gut, You hold more water. Why do you hold more water? Because your gut's inflamed. When you have inflammation, creates edema, and edema's there to help you. All right. So you hold on to more water, lots of water within the area, localized until you get rid of the issue. When you get rid of the issue, the water goes away. All right. So if you've got bad gut health, you're going to be holding a shitload of water around your gut, which is also around the area where people hold more fat. So if you're holding more water, you're going to look fatter. All right. You're going to look fat. You're going to look soggy. You're not going to look great whatsoever. If you can't lose fat from there or you can't get lean through there, it's because of your gut, all right? And it's not going to go away till you fix your gut. People will then say, oh, what about the fat there? Well, you seem to store more fat in the areas where you have greater levels of inflammation. So when your gut's bad and it's not working well, you will tend generally to hold more fat through your midsection. I don't know a single person who has got six-pack or a phenomenal midsection while having a good gut. You can take me for example. Back in 2015, early 2016, I was shredded as anything through the midsection. Then, bang, go towards later 2016, my gut got really bad, got IBS. I was eating less calories than I ever was before. I was exercising more, but putting on fat through my midsection, okay? Why? The only difference is my gut was bad. And this has happened time and time and time again. Guys, if you want to be shredded, if you want to have abs, male or female, if you want to have a tiny waist, if you want to look better, you need to have a good gut. Because if you don't, it's not going to work for you whatsoever at all. Not going to happen, okay? Daniel's just said, what's the best way to lose love handles? Fix your gut. When your gut gets fixed, your love handles gets fixed, all right? My theory in all people is we are all meant to be lean. Everyone is meant to be lean. Everyone can sit at between 6 and 10% body fat very easily. I do it. A lot of my clients do it. Anyone with good gut health that is on my team will be eating a shitload of calories and staying very lean, always with a six-pack, period. Recently, my boy Jared was cruising on around 7,500 calories, a stupid amount of food, okay? Why could he do that? Because his gut health was immaculate. He stayed lean. He grew faster than he's ever grown before. All right? And he ate a stupid amount of food. He ate so much food he didn't want to eat food. Okay? If you've got a good gut, it's going to solve all your problems. Okay? If you have a good gut, you're going to stay lean. You're going to look better. You're going to be healthier. You're going to think better. You're stupid to not look after your digestive system. James just asked, are heavy squats and certain leg exercises bad for your knees long term? Every time I bend my knees, they've been making creaking, weird noises recently. Mate, it sounds like that your biomechanics are off. You're not moving how you are, how you should be, okay? So guys, no exercise ever is evil. It's just the position in which you put your body. If your body's all over the place and it's not moving correctly, then bang, all right? You're not going to have a good time at all right? It's going to really screw you up. The reason why you're out of alignment are number one, stress. Number two, digestive health. Funny, that one makes an appearance again. And number three, you've just learned a poor motor pattern from not being shown the correct way to move. So what I do, if you have creaky knees, okay, the main thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that your hips are in alignment, all right? You're not tilting off to one side or the other as you're going down the squat. You're making sure your glutes are activated, your back's tight, and you're not too tight through your midsection. If you're tight through your midsection, you're going to be screwed. From there, look at your ankle mobility, thoracic mobility, and stuff like that. All right, mate. If you're getting creaking knees and weird noises, go get it checked out. If you're in Sydney, go see the squat doc, Abdel Mohammed. I can give you a link to him if you want. But he's the man with all that stuff. He is the man. Very good. He's worked through that with all that stuff with me. On top of that too, just make sure that your gut health's going well. Because a lot of this stuff goes away. Creaking is a symptom of your body moving in a way which it shouldn't. If you're getting swelling as well, that's showing inflammation. The inflammation is showing, once again, that your body's moving away, which it shouldn't. And it's also showing that gut health is not optimal. If your gut health's not optimal, your systemic inflammation goes up, which means when you get a localized injury, that it swells up a lot more, okay, and makes the whole symptom a whole heap worse. Jaden, I know that's a lot to take in. So if you need a little bit of further explanation, just comment again, and yeah, I'll go over and cover it for you, bro. Now, Mark's just asked, can your GI system adapt to shite food? I've been doing a lot of late night work in hospital, and I've been eating lots of the sugary crap that other staff bring in. I've noticed that I don't get mega bloated and my stool's pretty regular in timing and texture. Back to the topic, can I expect to suffer due to readapting as I ditch the shit food and move to take control of the food I eat? Really good question, dude. I get this one asked all the time. No, you can't adapt to shit food. So shit food, let's redefine that, mate. Shit food is food that bloats you. If you aren't bloating, if you aren't having gut distress, if you aren't having irregular poos or anything like that, the food's not shit for you, okay? It mightn't be, what we'd normally call the healthiest of foods, the ones that are best for, your function, your day-to-day function, mightn't be the ones that are best for your body composition. But as far as your gut goes, man, it's actually not that bad. If you manage to maintain your stress quite low, if you just happen to have a circadian rhythm which actually favors you being up at night and it doesn't really knock you about having to change shifts, mate, it's actually not going to be bad for you at all. You can eat probably shit food or good food. You just got to watch your macronutrients and your calories. So for you, man, I wouldn't be too worried at all, to be perfectly honest. And this is going to fly in the face of what a lot of people say, because if you're not bloating, if you're not getting any negative symptoms, it's not negative for you. I would always advise eating what we traditionally say is a healthy diet. But, if this type of diet doesn't make you bloat as much and you're still regular and everything's still working well, then it's good for you, mate. Use common sense. If just because people say that chicken and broccoli is great, it doesn't mean that it is great. Because I can tell you what, about a shitload of people come and tell me, that they're on chicken and broccoli diets, and they've got bad gut health. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's fucking obvious because chicken nor broccoli work for you at all. You can't digest them. You bloat as soon as you see them. You shouldn't be eating that. So yeah, back onto what you're saying, mate. You should be fine eating that stuff. Just make sure that you look after your macros, your calories, your sleep, and your stress. You should be relatively good. Chance has said, how do you ensure and maintain gut health? Number one, don't act and eat like a dickhead, okay? So if you stress the life out of yourself, if you don't sleep, if you take drugs, if you're drinking, if you're eating food which is shit for you, not junk food as defined by the media, food which is shit for you, then you're going to screw your gut. To maintain this, just don't do any of those things. Just don't be a dickhead. Just simply sleep well, rest up, make sure you've got low levels of stress, make sure you recover well, make sure your training is tailored to you and your body, make sure that you are eating well, all that sort of stuff. If you do that, you'll be fine. Some people have more advanced issues and need certain little bits and pieces to help them get out of that state of stress or poor sleep, anxiety, depression, all those things which really screw with your gut. And they're a different kettle of fish and they need something else, okay? But for the general person, if you've got a healthy gut and it's going well, just don't be a dickhead. Just keep it simple. Don't do anything too amazing and you will be fine, okay? It's not something you need to stress about unless you're doing the wrong thing, unless it's not working for you. Karen has just asked, do probiotic tablets work? Good question, because there are many different types of probiotic tablets. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to hook in a bit of peanut butter too while I'm here. Don't mind me. Probiotics are good when they work. All right? Just like anything. Anything's good when it works. When probiotics don't work, they're an absolute nightmare. So, if you're someone who has got terrible bowel movements, right? You're not going to the toilet once, you're going less than once a day. If you take probiotics, they're going to make you worse straight away. The reason for this is if you've got poor gastric motility, well, in general, that is, by the way, in general. If you have poor gastric motility and it's getting stuck in here, and then when the probiotic passes from the stomach down to the intestine, it's not properly broken down. It just sits in there, puts more bacteria in the wrong place, and it makes you a hell of a lot worse. Okay? That's one scenario. However, in other scenarios, if you're deficient in certain gut bacteria, yes, they're great. The thing about probiotics and bacteria that a lot of people forget is that we don't want bacteria up in your stomach or in your small intestine. You want it in your large intestine. So to be honest, if you actually want them to be super, super effective, then shelf them because they're actually much better that way. Now, look, good luck to me trying to convince any of my clients to do that. I don't do it. I still recommend that the majority of my clients take a regular Lacto and Bifido probiotic. But yeah, if you really want the best results from them, they've got to go up the other end because that's where they belong. They belong in your large intestine. Okay. Now, Hagob's just asked, do I recommend having apple cider vinegar in the morning before breakfast? Yeah, before breakfast, upon waking, it's fantastic. To be honest, taking apple cider vinegar at any time can be really good. Okay, is really good. Apple cider vinegar is fucking phenomenal. Take it, love it, learn to love it if you don't. All right. My favorite example about apple cider vinegar was that back in the day, I can't remember where I got this from, but back in the day, they had a set of cows in a paddock where they would keep them in the paddock, and they had like an apple orchard there. And they had a set of cows where they didn't do that. The ones in the apple orchard ate all the apples as they fell down to the ground. The ones without the apples obviously didn't eat apples because they didn't get apples. The ones that had fallen down to the ground, the apples there, they started to ferment, produce apple cider vinegar. Those cattle actually lasted an extra 25%. Their lifespan increased by 25%, where the other ones just maintained the same. All right, favorite example of that. It's absolutely fantastic. I highly, highly recommend it. It increases hydrochloric acid production in your stomach. It gives hydrochloric acid into your stomach as well. It regulates your blood sugar levels. It's absolutely fantastic. Great for your digestive health. Great for your gut bacteria. Probiotic. It's a prebiotic big time. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, smash the stuff. If you want to take it in the morning, take it in the morning. I get my guys to all take it in the morning and with meal one. But if you want to take it later in the day, have it later in the day. It's gonna be just as good at 7 a.m. as what it will be at 10 p.m. at night. Jaden's just said, would I recommend a chiropractor or a physio to check out any sort of dodgy issues with your knees? Yes, but only if they're good. There are a lot of shit chiros and physios out there, guys, like a lot of shit physios. So first things first, I recommend that you try it, unless you're badly injured. If it's just a little niggling thing, I recommend that you try and fix your own injuries yourself by just correcting your biomechanics, making sure your glutes are working, making sure your gut health is optimal, and making sure the ankle mobility is great. If that's still not working, then bang, go over, chat with a chiro, chat with a physio, and get them to help you out. I haven't seen with my clients as good results with physios as what I have with chiros, but at the same time, maybe that's just because they've had more bad physios than what they've had bad chiros, or more good chiros than great physios. There are a lot of really good physios out there, so I'm not ragging on physios at all. I just say from what I've seen in my experience with my clients and myself, they get more results out of a good chiro. That being said, though, at the same time, people who've got the worst results are also from chiros, so you need someone reputable. If you're in Sydney, I can recommend you the name Tensegrity Chiropractics. I send all my guys there. They're absolutely phenomenal. If you're in Perth, there's a bloke, I've forgotten his name. Daniel Woods, if you're watching here, can you just comment your guy's name here? Absolutely fantastic. So they're a heap around that are really, really good. You just got to find a good practitioner. That's it at the end of the day. Physio, chiro, osteo, whatever. Just make sure that they're really, really good and really reputable. Tim Nesbitt said, best stack or combination of subs for stress reduction. Mate, that depends on how your body responds. Some people, when they get stressed, they have a severe depletion of serotonin. Some people have a severe depletion of GABA. Others, dopamine. Mate, it really depends on the person. The main thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you're sleeping well. If you're sleeping well, then you're not really going to have a bad response to stress. In general, what I'd say to that answer is just take a little bit of rhodiola rosea, take a bit of 5-HTP at night, and then some GABA or GABAergic supplements, and you'll be fine. Okay? Just make sure that your sleep's good because sleep heals everything. James David, hey mate, how are you, brother? 3 weeks with this legend. As my coach, best decision ever. Thanks, brah. You're killing it. We're going to get you up on stage, my man. Now, Mark has just said excess gas is a sign of what? Excess gas is a sign of fermentation. So if food goes into your stomach, into your intestines, at any point, and it's broken down by those bacteria which ferment it, it creates gas, okay? When you have lots of gas, it's showing that you're not, your digestive system isn't being effective. Nobody should fart. You actually shouldn't fart. If you're farting, your gut health is off. It's completely out, okay? So it's a sign, excess gas is a sign that something's not going right. You need to change what you're eating. You need to change your gut health. You need to change your gut mobility. John James has just asked, do you agree with intermittent fasting? Fast for 16 hours of the day, leaving an 8-hour window to eat. Yes, I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting, but only for the right reasons. If you're looking to gain mass, intermittent fasting is not good, all right? In general. If you're looking to gain mass and get bigger, would not recommend it to the average person. If you're looking to get healthier, if you're looking to reduce inflammation, reduce mental health issues, improve your androgen levels, then yes, I actually use intermittent fasting or a version of intermittent fasting in one of my coaching courses, my advanced course, because it's really, really super effective for all the blokes who are looking to be younger, healthier, and function a shitload better, okay? So yeah, man, I'm a fan of it at times, only when it's really, really necessary, okay? Now the next question here, I'm going to dig it up. Guys, keep on going with your questions. If you do have anything else that you want to ask or anything you want me to expand on, which I've already touched on, just let me know. All right, into the Shred community. Now, Elleron's just asked, what are some thoughts on collagen for muscle recovery? Also, what sets a good collagen supplement apart from a bad one? Thanks in advance. I don't know why you'd be using collagen for muscle recovery. I just wouldn't do it. A lot of people say that, collagen peptides are better for recovery than whey peptides are. I don't know. I'd like to see the science on that because I haven't seen any evidence really suggesting it. In the end of the day, if you want to make your muscles recover faster, eat more food, eat more meat, eat more protein, then you'll recover faster, okay? In general, the main thing is that you're getting in the protein from a good quality source, okay? So you're getting an even amino acid profile, lots of EAAs in there, all that sort of stuff. You'll be fine, okay? You're going to do very, very well. A lot of people also take collagen for their gut. I don't even recommend this, all right? In general, I don't really recommend it because you get enough. If you're a meat eater, a carnivore or an omnivore, then you're going to get more than enough collagen in your diet. You're going to be sweet. You're going to be fine, okay? So I wouldn't really worry about collagen supplements at all. There's a protein out by ATP Sciences here in Australia. They say that a lot of people rave about it. I tried it the other day at Clint's place, Clint, the bloke that works with me, as you'll know, and I didn't rate it at all, okay? So I didn't find it fun whatsoever. It mixed like shit, and it wasn't. He's saying, I'm trying to do a bulk, but I need it to be low cost. I'm on a budget. What food's going to eat to get more mass? The best foods to get more mass on the cheap are things like oils. So plain oils, olive oil, butter, stuff like that, because they're all dirt cheap and they're highly calorie dense. If you want to get bigger, eat more of those, okay? Eat much more of those. Also recommend trying to use more whey protein and amino acids because they're actually cheaper per gram of protein than what it is to buy steak or chicken or anything like that. On top of this too, you need to make sure that you're rotating all your foods around enough because otherwise you will get intolerant to them and you're not going to progress, right? The way you can get around that is you can buy in bulk and cook up bulk amounts of food at once buy bulk amounts of thing. Why are you going? You eat just bulk amounts of the same food for a whole day. So for one day you just eat chicken, the next day you eat steak, the next day you eat pork. All right? Now Jaden's is back. He's like, would having 2 to 4 eggs most days be bad for you in terms of the cholesterol levels? Fuck! Stop with this myth. I hate it how the mainstream media, not you, Jaden, the mainstream media has perpetuated this stupid myth of eggs and butter making cholesterol bad. Saturated fat is good. I get all my clients to have saturated fat. I smash the saturated fat. You'll see me having bloody eggs and butter and coconut oil every single day. It is good. you need to make sure that you've got enough saturated fat in your diet. It is absolutely essential, okay? It will not affect your cholesterol levels. In fact, if you don't have it, your cholesterol levels will get affected. Stop having soy oils and like canola oils and shit like that. It's absolutely crap. Skip that. Get onto the saturated fat. 10 times better. Now he's saying I'm pretty much never hungry except for after my workout. I have no idea how to fix this, mate. You just need to reduce your stress levels. When you're stressed, you're not going to be hungry, okay? So you need to reduce those stress levels and fix all that stuff up. If you need a hand, you know where to find me. Just inbox me. When I squat, deadlift, anything similar, my lower back always takes over and gets painful. That's because of your gut, bro. You need to fix up your gut. So we've got to get onto that. Let's chat about that. You know where to find me. Shoot me a message and we'll sort you out. If you get pain in your lower back, it's literally always because of the front. So any symptom in your back, look to the front, directly opposite, and you'll find the cause of it. Now, Laura Adams just said, do BCAAs help reserve muscle and assist burning just the fat? Can I take it even on my days without training? BCAAs, I do find that you get faster fat loss and muscle gain. But I would recommend that their biggest benefit is in the reduction of DOMs and allowing you to train more. They also allow you to train harder because they reduce the serotonin levels rising in your brain. They increase the dopamine levels rising in your brain. So when you work out, as you get more and more tired, your dopamine levels deplete, your serotonin levels increase, and that's what causes you to want to stop pretty much. So yeah, they're fantastic for that, for reducing that process. I wouldn't take it on your days without training because you don't need it. You're not training. And I've actually seen people come back with poorer blood glucose levels after having taken BCAAs, like just sipping on BCAAs. They also get fatter and more anabolically resistant, okay? So none of that's fun. So yeah. Now Jeff's asked just the other day, thoughts on squatting without shoes? Yeah. I'm a massive fan of squatting without shoes because, well, I'm not squatting 300 kilos. I'll be squatting a bit. Squatting and deadlifting without shoes, I think it's far better. You get a much better connection with the floor. You feel it a whole heap better, and you move a whole heap better too. Okay, well, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Hey, I'm absolutely cooked. Thanks for sticking around, all you legends who are here. And pretty much what I want you guys to do is, if you do have any more questions, as always, just hit them up below or head over to the Shred community and get amongst it there, all right? Now that I'm back, now that I'm not crook anymore, not feeling like shit or not feeling like as much shit as what I was before, we are going to be doing these every single day. So just getting on and amongst them. So as long as they're helping you guys, as long as you're enjoying them, as long as you're getting something out of it, we're going to keep pumping these, all right? So on that note, I'm going to say au revoir. I'm going to leave you guys to it for the night. Enjoy, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take it easy.